Hi, this is Jeff Stone of Grandpa's Fried Barbecue from the Panhandle of Florida, and you are listening to the Barbecue Central Show.
Start the game! Let's go!
We'll do it live. Okay. Well, do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
So to get that perfect barbecue, you use wood. Are you sure it's safe? Whatever. We put the lighter fluid on, strike the match, and... Oh! Should we call the fire department? That might be a good idea.
Good evening and welcome to the Really Big Barbecue Central Show. This is a show that talks about all things important in the world of barbecue and grilling, originating from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame city of Cleveland, Ohio, the barbecue capital of the North Coast. I am your program host, Greg Rempe. Happy to have you aboard here on your Tuesday night's fun and frivolity show. I'm here, both ears. We'll get into that here in a second. If you want to jump in on the show this evening, here's how you do that.
You can get in touch with the show by calling 216-220-0966. Email Greg at the BBQCentralShow.com. On the Twitter and Instagrams at BBQ Central Show.
Anything else you want to find out about the show can be found at the main website, thebbqcentralshow.com. And here's what's happening. Coming up in about 12 minutes from now, it is the first Tuesday of a month, and you know that usually brings a visit from Malcolm Reed. However, merely hours ago, Malcolm and I communicated, and he said, hey, I'm just hunting in the middle of nowhere, Mississippi. Assuming he's hunting in Mississippi. Maybe he goes to some other state to hunt. I'm not a hunter. I don't know anything about hunting or how all of that goes down, other than it's probably for deer. He probably has firearms, and he's in a blind or a shade or something along these lines, maybe in a tree, and he's waiting for the next best doe or buck to show up and shoot. But he's just not anywhere that A, was going to provide any type of internet access for video chat like we would normally do. Secondarily, really doesn't have any ability for phone either. I said, hey, we don't have to do video. We can just do phone. I have plenty of sexy pictures of you anyway. I can throw that up on the video side. No problem. We can do it via the phone. And he said, I would actually have to probably get in the car and drive for a bit in order to start picking up bars of reception. And I said, you know what? I don't know about that. And then his wife, Rochelle, emailed me and said, Malcolm's out. And I quickly I have been chasing Rochelle Reed. Probably for well over a year, I've tried to put Malcolm in tight spots where I know he would have to back out, where I could then backdoor my way into asking Rochelle to come in and be a guest on the show. I would love to get her on the show and interview her, being the other side of how to barbecue right, and talking to her about competition stuff too that she's been a part of. But I'm really fascinated by the production side and what she brings to the table. And admittedly, through podcast after podcast that I listen to each and every week, she says, I'm more behind the scenes person. I don't want to be the upfront. So I tried really hard to land her this evening, and after 5 attempts of hard closing, she graciously backed out. So we'll keep trying, because the best interviews always come after years of efforting to be on the show. But as luck would have it, I said, you know what? I'm going to throw caution to the wind and see if I can't get a hold of somebody that I want to talk to about positive barbecue stuff. So I lobbed a phone call or a quick text to Sterling Ball. He's got a toothache. He's down for the count. He can't do it. Well, quickly I'm striking out. And then I threw ultimate caution to the wind and said it was tough when I screwed George Moats I totally blew the booking to have him on, talk about how he got into the Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame, talk about some new stuff that he has going on. I'll just toss it out there, thinking 2% chance. And he wrote back within 10 minutes, "You just caught me on a good night." And we're able to put it together. So, the long way to go. To tell you in about 9 minutes from now, George Moats, the hamburger king of the universe, will be on the show. And we'll talk to George and see how his life has changed since September, getting into the Barbecue Central Show Guest Hall of Fame. And then we will move to 35 Past. If you are a fan of the LA food scene and pop-ups especially, we talked to Rodney Scott a couple weeks ago about pop-ups. That'll make its way into the conversation as well. But I have since had a growing fascination with these pop-ups. Not new to me. I've heard of them. But to see how they operate and the success that they bring and all this other stuff. One of the premier new pop-up businesses to the scene out there on the West Coast and perhaps across the country, going by the name of Bad Jew. Rebecca King will be joining me. You should follow her on the socials, The Bad Jew. Watch her on Instagram. Those sandwiches are absolutely knockout. And she's a Buckeye, so she actually grew up and went to high school in Orange, which is a suburb of Cleveland, and used to be in our old athletic conference when I went to high school 100 years ago. I went to Kenston. She went to Orange High School. We summarily slapped those punks around on the regs. I don't know how that looks at now, but nevertheless, we'll have Rebecca on and see why she left the Buckeye State. I mean, why does anybody leave the Buckeye State? Because they can. They don't want to. They can. And then we'll talk about the Bad Jew and that whole deal. Second hour, of course, first Tuesday of the month brings a visit from Sam, the cooking guy. And boy, do I have an outline to get to with him. And I'm not even going to mention it because chances are we will be talking about something completely unrelated to whatever I think I want to talk about with Sam. So there you have it. George Moats, the American and perhaps world barbecue expert, Rebecca King, the Bad Jew, and Sam, the cooking guy, who coincidentally also bills himself as a bad Jew, but just not in the same way. Don't forget, you can follow me socially at BBQ Central Show on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and the Snappers. Facebook and Twitch/BBQ Central Show, where there's a live video feed. Also /RD Rempe on the YouTubes. If you want a video feed there, we have a pretty active chat going on at YouTube right now. Also on Facebook, I can see it all. And we'll from time to time flash some stuff up if I am so interested. You know, I had a huge opening take, but that got scrapped after I got this email Sunday night. And it goes a little something like this. Greg, love your show. Long-time listener, first time contacting you. I was just taking in the second hour of last week's show. Love the embedded correspondence. But I believe they are generally wrong regarding Nickelback.
What?
He said, I believe they are generally wrong when it comes to Nickelback. I think you could have just stopped at, I think they are generally wrong. I'm right. They are. I'm from British Columbia, Canada, the same province that Nickelback resides. I've seen them in concert twice. They put on a hell of a show. And yes, I have seen some of the most prolific acts in concert, i.e. Rolling Stones, Aerosmith, Kiss, Motley Crue, Bon Jovi, etc. I'm also a musician, an apprenticing pitmaster in my spare time. I have 2 Weber Smoky Mountain cookers on my patio. Well, I can agree with Doug's comment about some of their songs sounding the same. Seeing them live is something that should be taken advantage of, should the opportunity present itself. You will be impressed by the live presentation. By the way, Greg, I completely agree that you should sing a Nickelback tune for the next Barbecue Central singing contest. Clearly, you would be victorious, and anyone who disagrees is clearly incorrect. Appreciate all the hard work you do. Cecil Cheval Dave in Kamloops, British Columbia, Canada. Thank you, Cecil. Did I say your last name right, Cecil? Cecil Cheval Dave. Is it Cheval Davy? I don't know. But the most important part, if we can recap quickly, is that the embedded correspondents, all of them, John, Rusty, and Douglas, are generally wrong regarding Nickelback. I would say all the way wrong because they hated all over Nickelback. And as I said, if you have seen them live, I don't know how you could go out of your way to say they are a band of bags. And Cecil obviously knows what he's talking about. He is obviously a talented musician. He has an eye to recognize talent and sees that as it relates to Nickelback. It's like some unwritten rule that if you're a dude, you have to hate Nickelback. Has anybody seen the live performance at Sturgis where all of the men are? Sturgis. Women are whipping off their tops. If they were a bunch of bags, they would get beat up at Sturgis. Instead, they were offered up 3 and 4 different encores. Come on, man. They are awesome. I'm going on record. Nickelback, awesome. If you don't like it, suck it. All right, so we have George Moats coming up out of the break. We'll get him locked and loaded. I'll talk to you quickly about Pits and Spits, handcrafting smokers and grills in Houston, Texas, since 1983. Setting itself apart with the use of heavy 7 and 10 gauge steel in every cooker, fully welded construction that you can feel, and a 304 stainless roll-top lid and a front shelf on every cooker. By using high-quality materials, Pits and Spits reach and maintain temperatures, allowing you to worry more about the meat than the heat. By providing a fully welded smoker, you don't have to worry about grease or smoke leaking out of the barrel, or that the grill's going to rattle apart as you move it through the backyard. And by using 304 stainless, you're getting an heirloom quality product that you could pass down. Now, bunch of meaningless underdwellers in the price world want you to focus on just price, but Pits and Spits is focusing on craftsmanship and quality materials. They can do it cheaper, but they don't like tack welds and cheap stainless and electronics that you can't trust. Having in-house manufacturing gives them complete control of the design and standards. That's not something you find elsewhere. Their steel suppliers supply material to be used in some of the harshest environments, so you know they're going to perform in any and all conditions, like today in Cleveland when it's snowing to beat the band. Their controllers are made right here in the U.S., so they have unimpeded transparency into the program. Give them a call, 844-650-6250, 844-650-6250. Whether you're a backyard grill master looking to cook steaks for the family or a competitor looking to cook 50 racks of ribs, Pits and Spits is a product for you. You can check them out at their website, pitsandspits.com, all spelled out. Or you can see their pits in the wild across all social media handles at Pits and Spits. Once again, all spelled out. Come on, let's go. We have George Moats getting ready to make his second appearance on this show. And now a Barbecue Central Show guest Hall of Famer to boot. Life-changing, without a doubt. We'll see how that's affected him. When we come back, stick around. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the #1 most downloaded barbecue and grilling podcast anywhere. The Barbecue Central Show. Broadcasting live from the Barbecue Central Show studios in Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
Hey, welcome back. This portion of the show being brought to you by Butcher's Barbecue, makers of award-winning injections, marinades, rubs, seasonings, barbecue sauces, grilling oils. All of Butcher Barbecue products have been tested on the competition circuit as well as backyards worldwide. Be the pitmaster of your neighborhood. And visit butcherbbq.com to stock up right now. Always trust your butcher. All right, my first guest tonight, the burger man of this and any universe, and Emmy award-winning filmmaker, founder of the Food Film Festival, author of the travel guide Hamburger America, the Great American Burger Book, hailed by New York Times as being the leading authority on hamburgers. But forget all that. This year, he gained his crowning achievement by being voted into the Barbecue Central Show Guest Hall of Fame a few months ago. Here to talk about how his life has improved dramatically because of this honor is certainly none other than George Moats. Hey, George.
Hey, how you doing?
George, I want to, first of all, thank you for jumping on literally with only hours to spare before we went live. I had you locked down the first time. I screwed the pooch on that whole scheduling thing, so I apologize for that. But as fate would have it,
problem.
I found you tonight. You had a couple minutes to jump on. So let's get right into the meat here. In September, you were part of the Guest Hall of Fame inductions of 2020. Now, other inductees have regaled me with their life-changing tales after they've made it in. I assume your life has been a pretty noticeable shift in awesomeness since you've gotten the news?
Yeah, I've had to wear costumes when I go to the supermarket now, and people definitely recognize me every day because of it.
All right. Well, we're always trying to bring even more fame and adulation than my guests would typically get when they cross that threshold into the Hall of Fame. Is this the first time you're in any type of Hall of Fame, or is this old hat at this point?
I would say it's not. It's definitely not the first time, but I wouldn't say it's old hat. It just never gets old. Never gets old. So thank you very much. I appreciate the honor. I am honored, really.
Yeah, absolutely. So you made it through a very arduous task of the embedded correspondents and I really deliberating through some of the who's who in the live fire industry. And you are in for 2020. So checks in the mail, shirts, limousine rides, all that stuff after COVID goes away, and we'll go from there. So let's go ahead and recap Thanksgiving, George. It was last Thursday, obviously, and like most folks, it looked like you kept it fairly low-key, but what did it look like over in the Moats residence?
Well, I'm not sure if you followed what was going on Instagram, but I did something that I promised I would never do again because it's too much work and it's too expensive. But, time went by and I realized, I can do this again. Why not? I did I spit roasted, or I rotisserie cooked a 21-pound turkey for 8 hours over coal.
21 pound.
Yeah.
Wow.
for 9 people.
Now, so you said you would never do it again because 21 pounds was just a large physical and time activity, or was there a end product that you weren't too jazzed about? What was the deal there?
The only reason I did it again was because of the end product. Everything else, I would, other than the actual standing around drinking beer with my friends, which is exactly what we did outside, which is great to be able to smell the smoke and drink beer. But I would say everything else leading up to it. We did a 5-day dry brine. Wow. I had to borrow a friend's refrigerator. She has a commercial kitchen. I borrowed her commercial refrigerator to store the bird for 4 days covered, 1 day uncovered to crisp up the skin. I borrowed the spit rotisserie from another friend of mine. It was a lot of work. It's just so much work. And the bird itself, I bought a special bird from a poultry farm out on Long Island. So it was a very expensive bird. I think it was $6 a pound. So incredible. But, at the end, it was worth it because it tastes so good. There's honestly nothing like a turkey that has been rotisserie cooked in its own juices, basically, spinning around for 8 hours.
All right, so let me dig into the whole process a little bit. When you talk about $6 a pound for turkey, is that I guess what would be akin to a heritage breed hog? Is it a heritage breed turkey to some degree then?
Exactly. It's a small family farm out in Long Island called Molosky's, and every year, the Saturday before Thanksgiving, they have a line out the door, and if you get there early, you can get the bird of your choice. If you get there late, which late means 9 o'clock in the morning, that's late. You are stuck with something that's over 17 pounds.
Wow.
But I was fine because I usually go for a much bigger. One year, the first year we did it 2 years ago, I went for a 30-pound turkey, but they actually had a 45-pound turkey on the 45 pounds. Incredible. That was the biggest one they had. I don't think anybody bought it.
Is there a really discernible flavor difference? I remember talking with Jeremy Umansky, who owns Larder Delicatessen out here in Cleveland, who's well known for koji and fermenting and all of this other stuff. But he told me last year, before all this crap hit this year, that if I had occasion to get out to one of those heritage breed farms here in the local Cleveland area, that I should definitely go out and get it because it would definitely cost more, but the flavor would be way more rewarding that you're going to get in a honeysuckle or a butterball. Do you find that to be the same?
Absolutely, for sure. There's no question about it. It is a much bigger difference because it's almost as if these heritage breed turkeys have names. I mean, they name them when they're out there. They actually identify them usually by numbers, but they're identifiable and they have a singular purpose. They're raised well, and they're raised well so they can go on your Thanksgiving table. It's incredible, and there's something about when you take out the commercial aspect of it, the truly like the large scale commercial aspect and industry size commercial aspect of it, it makes for a much better turkey, for sure. There's no question about it. Also, the way we cook the turkey, the fact that it's spinning around, and when you rotisserie cook, obviously, as you know, the fats try to drip off, and they never get to drip off. They stay in this perpetual motion where they can't leave the turkey.
Dry brining for that many days, what's the process, and what are you using specifically?
So I may have dry brined a day or two too long. You're supposed to dry brine for a day, or I think it's 1 or 2 days. We did 5 days only because I just couldn't get back to the bird. But it was fine. It was actually okay. And dry brining for us was a combination of salt, ground pepper, and I think that was it, actually. Just salt and ground pepper is all I did. And then I put my mother was a huge help, obviously, in all this stuff. And the two of us, massaged the turkey underneath the skin with this salt pepper mix. And then we also shoved slices of garlic up under the skin, as well as some fresh sage leaves.
Now, when you're rotisserieing, maybe that's the right word. Is it just charcoal, and are you using like briquettes, or you use lump? Do you use a mix, and are you using any wood chunks?
Yeah, I used briquettes. I've used lump in the past, and it burns too hot, actually. It doesn't burn long enough. When you actually have a factory made briquette, I think it works a little better. And also, I don't know what's going on. You probably know this. You're the barbecue guy. I think the briquettes have gotten a lot better, and even like the last 5 years. Am I wrong? Something is going on in the world of briquettes where they've really gotten, I think, better. They've become smokier. There's actually, I think, there's pieces of wood in there as well, not just charcoal. I think there's wood in there which actually makes for smoke.
And then at the end, do you guys, all 9 of you, end up consuming the bird, or do you have quite a bit of leftovers where you can start having fun with whatever new recipe you want to give a try?
Exactly. There's a lot left over. This time we had 21-pound turkey and 9 people. There's a lot left over. And one thing we do for sure is I take the turkey legs and the dark meat of the thighs. And a friend of mine in New York City has a restaurant, and he would do this thing where he would make this dark meat turkey hash, or turkey leg hash. He would basically braise the dark meat with some spices, and then shred the dark meat and separate it from the bones and all that, and then actually make this incredible hash. Good on it. It's almost like pulled pork, but turkey hash style.
Oh, it sounds absolutely delicious. We're talking with George Motz. You can find him at georgemotz.com. That's MOTZ, georgemotz.com. One of the other things that I saw recently was, and to me it looked pretty recent, but you can tell me if it is or not. Poached Egg Burger. You're the burger guy. I've seen burgers in every form and fashion have a sunny side up egg or a over easy egg. So, you get the bite, or maybe you push it down, or maybe you cut it so you have the quote unquote yolk porn happening. But this was the first time I had seen a poached egg on a burger before.
I don't think I did a poached egg. We actually did a fried egg. We did a Malaysian burger. We actually take the patty and put it into basically an omelet and wrap it up. It's almost like an egg wrapped burger.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we've done. I mean, there's also the Hawaiian Loco Moco burger, which is a bed of rice, and on top of the bed of rice is a burger. On top of the burger is a fried egg, and then it's drizzled with brown gravy.
I mean, in the end, is there just a limitless amount of burgers that you can make? I mean, there's no end.
I would say there's no end, but there has to be an end sometimes. Sometimes you have to, you deal with reality. Well, you deal with things like the size of your mouth.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess
actually fit in there.
Are there ever any? Just because there's a burger patty around it, like, can it get out of confines, or as long as there are some rudimentary makings of a burger, can one call it a burger? Do we not really care to, keep it inside of a box that much?
I think, well, it's good to think outside the box, but when you do, it's better to keep the ingredient lists short. I usually say that if you have competing flavors in a burger, you're going to they're going to cancel each other out.
Yeah.
It's not going to taste quite right. Or if you have too many flavors in a burger, you're also going to cause a problem where you can't taste the beef itself. So I've always said if you have the beef itself, that's fine. Obviously, then you can add to that maybe a slice of cheese, maybe some kind of a sauce, maybe one other ingredient, maybe two. But I think once you get beyond 3 ingredients on top of the burger, you're dealing with a problem.
Is ketchup a little kid's topping on a burger? Is that something you kind of turn your nose up at?
Well, it's funny you said that. I'm not sure why you said that, but it's true. We believe, looking at history, that it may have been introduced by some of the bigger burger chains like McDonald's and some other West Coast chains. Were introducing ketchup on burgers so that the next generation of burger lovers, children, would enjoy burgers more. It become more palatable in a way because with that sweet sauce on it.
Oh dear. So am I
But I do agree, yeah.
am I an immature burger eater? Because I mean I like ketchup quite a bit. Pretty much on like a lot of stuff, not on everything, but I don't mind a good lathering of ketchup on a burger sometimes.
Ketchup is good. I like to be able to mix ketchup on a sauce. Not just ketchup on its own, I think, is a problem. I think it's hard to enjoy the burger. There's so much sugar in there that it's hard to enjoy the flavor of the beef. I'd rather have a beef and cheese than I would ketchup at all.
Let me ask you specifically about patty melts. I see them on menus. I've never really gotten to know them too well, but are there things that definitely have to make up a true patty melt, and like what are some of your favorites?
So the traditional patty melt, it comes from California. It's actually, we've traced the history and the roots back to California, Southern California.
All right.
And it's specifically, obviously a cooked burger patty that is slipped onto a rye bread with Swiss cheese.
Wow.
And that's it. And it's served, I think, with maybe Russian dressing. I'm not sure. Maybe I think but that's the basics. The basics of the patty melt are just the beef itself, Swiss cheese, and rye bread. Now, I'm not a big fan of any of that. I actually grew up with a different type of patty melt. I grew up with the patty melt we like to call Mom Forgot to Get Buns patty melt, which basically means you take a burger patty, you put it inside of a grilled cheese, and then you have the mom's favorite patty melt.
So when I see it like laden with all these fried onions and some of this other stuff, and then they have bread on the outside, that's not necessarily an akin back to an older time.
I'm sorry. That was the one I was missing. It does include grilled onions. There are onions and Swiss cheese and rye bread on a traditional patty melt. So you can put onions in. I believe that's the one condiment you actually could and should put inside of just about any burger, but for sure inside of a patty melt.
It almost sounds like it wants to be a Reuben to some degree. I mean, if you have Swiss cheese, obviously the meat's different, but you have Swiss cheese, and you have a potentially a Russian or some Thousand Island kind of dressing. The rye bread, that's almost akin to a Reuben, or at least the start of a Reuben.
Which I also believe was also invented in California. So I'm sure they happened sort of at the same time, right? Probably did. But most patty melts, that I've seen, really just include regular, good old bread with American cheese, or sometimes Swiss cheese, or sometimes cheddar, unfortunately, and served very simply.
I have seen you go nuts these last number of months doing the George Moats smash burgers. There appears to be a wood slide coming out of your residence to stay socially distant. So, did it start where you just wanted to, stay busy, provide some good smash burgers for some folks, because you're obviously world famous for that onion smash burger thing that you do? But I've seen them happening like almost more and more regularly. So what's the concept there?
So the idea was that right whenever it was announced that it was a national emergency on Friday, March 13th, I started to get emails and texts from clients of mine all over the world saying that all of our events have been canceled or postponed. They kept saying, it's been postponed. Yep. Well, to me, that's probably a cancellation. I ended up losing 15 events in the span of a week that actually made up 4 months of events all over the world. Stockholm, Copenhagen, LA, Argentina. And we were even going to do the George Moats Burger Festival in Tokyo, the first annual George Moats Burger Festival in Tokyo, and that was obviously postponed, or as far as I'm concerned, was canceled. So my first thought was I need to find some way to get burgers to the people. The people need burgers.
Yes.
And we came up with the idea. We ripped apart a piece of my closet, this 6-foot, socially distanced 6-foot piece of wood, and put rails on the side of it, and we stuck it out my window. I sold tickets online, and the idea was you could log into the website and you could buy a double at 2 p.m. And you walked into my window, and at exactly 2 p.m. the window would open up, and my son or daughter would slide a burger down the slide. It was socially distant and perfect.
And it appears to be gaining more and more steam through each passing.
What happened was I did it a few times at my house back in March and April, and it became a little bit too popular. People would walk by when we weren't doing a slide, and they would say, "Oh, aren't you the burger guy? Isn't this the burger house?" And I would say, "No."
Just looks like the burger.
I don't know what you're talking about. You like him. It's just like him. Nope, not me. So we actually decided to start partnering with restaurants and bars, friends of mine, all over Brooklyn and Manhattan. Even went as far as went to Jersey a few times to do a pop-up in Jersey. And we started doing them once a week. We did them once a week all through the summer. And then right up until about a week ago, we stopped doing them right before Thanksgiving. Then we just announced we were doing 2 more, one in Brooklyn next week and then one in Manhattan the week after. So, because people have been clamoring for the burger slide, which I'm very excited about.
Last time you were on, George, you were sold out, I think, of the Smashula or whatever the cool name was. That's it. Is that back in stock, or what's the status on that for the people looking to buy live fire gifts for their loved ones? I'm sure this would fit the bill. Your timing is amazing. The Smashula is about to be back in stock very soon. We're going to make an announcement in probably about a week. Okay.
And I'm feeling that we're going to sell out. We've been trying to get through a wait list of about 278 people that wanted it, and I'm done with the wait list as of tomorrow. And then we open it up to international sales, and then from there we open it up to everybody for public, public consumption.
We go to georgemoats.com in order to keep tabs on that then, or is there somewhere else?
That's it. That's the best way. That and Instagram. And my Moats Burger Instagram is probably the best way to get up-to-date news. But the website is also very accurate.
All right, so there you have it. He is our burger expert for the Barbecue Central Show. He is a Barbecue Central Show guest Hall of Famer and providing burgers for everybody in the New York City area, at least for 2 more times before the year ends. It's George Moats. George, appreciate you jumping on last minute here and talking with me this evening. Continued success, and we'll do it again soon.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. It was fun.
You got it. There he is, George Moats, right there. Holy moly. 21-pound turkey. Man, I remember back in the day, I think Mom's had like a 25-pound turkey when we were doing it in the Cleve. Like my whole family and my dad's brother would come in with his family, and my dad's parents were coming in. Did that for like 20 years, whatever it was. But those were some big-ass turkeys back in the day. Take up the whole damn oven. And then, as I start to do this show, it's like, hey, man. Oh, dear. I gotta do this real quick. Got to give out the hotline number. The internet went out for my next guest. I don't want that to happen. Here we go. Send that on. Here we go. But these things took it up. And then doing this show, people were like, 20-pound turkey? F that. 12 pounds. Cook a pair of 12-pounders. It'll give you a better end product. A mom right now dial me up. 30-pounder one year. 30 pounds. 30 pounds. That's 15 pounds short of the biggest one that George was just talking about. God damn. Big-ass turkeys. Now that's out. Like, nobody wants that. All right, the Bad Jew is getting ready to call in, or maybe she'll jump in through the internet, depending on what trouble she's having. This could be one of the rare first hours. I'll talk to you quickly about B&B while we get that sorted out. B&B Charcoal is one of the best brands out there right now. A lot of other brands, big brands with big names, all that. But George Motes is right. He's talking about the quality of charcoal these days. A few reach the pinnacle of product and process, and the fervent followers that B&B has generated over the last many handful of years. So they have the lump charcoal, of course, which I'm a personal fan of. Unless I'm going to cook overnight on one of my charcoal-driven cookers, then I will go charcoal briquette. Because as I was telling you about last week, it's way more consistent. You can count on, if you start with this many, it's going to give you this kind of heat. If you add 5 or 6, you're just quickly adding a measure of heat. Now, if you want to go more on the hot end, searing steaks, or you know it's not going to be that long of a cook, maybe 30, 45 minutes or so, lump charcoal. I like the way it burns. I like the fact that it hardly ashes. It's very efficient when it burns. Gives a nice little flavor. Nothing over the top, for crying out loud. But that's my favorite. Now, every once in a while, as I was telling you about, when I'm running the offset, the stick burner, I will go char log from B&B. Not easy to find right now, which is fine. Keep an eye out. Ask your ace about char logs, or to at least get on that back order list if that's what they have to do, and then have them put your name on the list. Char logs are great to supplement the log throwing, if you will. I find it very nice to have char logs by my side when I'm running the lang. Keeps a nice coal bed. Not really adding any flavor. Lets my cherry wood do its magic. But I can add 2-3 chunks of that char log. Keeps a nice coal bed for me. All right, we are back with Rebecca King right after this. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Howard Stern, Jim Rome, Dan Patrick, and Greg Rempe. The Mountain Rushmore of talk show entertainment. Now, let's get back to the Barbecue Central Show.
And this portion of the show being brought to you by cookinpellets.com, your number one source for quality wood pellets for all your pellet-driven cookers, if you got them. Visit cookinpellets.com for more information or to purchase. You can also visit Amazon.com to purchase as well. It is cookinpellets.com. Signed up for next year already. Look at that. CB and the gang. Putting in work. Love it. All right, my next guest is making quite a successful run as a pop-up business in the City of Angels. However, it may or may not come as a shock to find out she's really a Buckeye, and the Cleveland suburb-based Buckeye as well. So we race to the hotline and welcome in first-timer to the show, owner of The Bad Jew, Rebecca King, joining me. Hey, Rebecca.
Hi, how are you?
I feel weird when I say that, but I should get over myself, right? Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Here we go. Now we're on fire. So we'll talk about the move to L.A. here in a second, Rebecca. But if we could, can we get a quick background about you and your time here in Cleveland? I am, of course, especially interested because this show based right here in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame city of Cleveland, Ohio. So I would wonder why anybody would want to go anywhere else.
Yeah. So I grew up in Cleveland. I was born and raised there. And I went to Orange High School. I'm from the East Side with all my fellow Jews. And I went to Orange High School. And then I went to Ohio University. And,
what?
You know, I went to Ohio University.
Guess what?
I did.
Bobcat, 1997, right here. How about that?
Oh.
Damn, we went to the same sports conference in high school. We went to the same college. Man, I knew it.
I went I have a tattoo on my butt about OU. Actually.
Does it say muck?
But
Does it say muck Miami?
No, it's the zip code with a smiley face and a 0.
Okay. Nice.
As the last one. No, I love OU so much, and I still talk to all of my roommates. We have a group chat. It was an amazing 4.5 years.
Yeah, I did the 5 myself.
Yeah. Most people do when they go to OU.
So
yeah,
you get done with
Cleveland.
college, and then do you go back home, or do you immediately shoot out to the left side?
I went back home for a little while, and then I was in Chicago for 4 years. And then I came back home again for like 6 months, and then I moved to LA 3 years ago.
Now,
yeah, and
I've spent not a huge amount of time in Chicago, but I've been there, let's say 2 or 3 times, and I don't really travel that much. But I love Chicago for any number of reasons. You know, from a food scene, it's trendy and happening. A lot of things are happening there. A lot of big people are there. Did you work a lot at food in there, or were you just there to live and experience life?
I did not start working in food until professionally a year ago, and not professionally about 2 years ago. So no, I was there. I was working in inside sales. I worked for a logistics company, and then I was working in commercial real estate. And it was amazing living there. I loved it, but I always felt like I was always attracted to the food scene, and I loved all the bartenders. But no, I didn't do anything with food there.
All right, so you get back to Ohio, and then you said you were there for 6 months, and then you blasted out.
Yeah.
So what was the drawing to LA? Did you have some people out there saying, "Hey, Rebecca, come out here"? There's a whole vibe happening, or what?
Yeah, something like that. Okay, so my parents went to UCLA, and they lived in LA for 10 years. So, and my mom's family lives here. So I grew up visiting Los Angeles, and we were always in Santa Monica. We'd come for 2 weeks every year. So I have some family here, my grandmother and my aunt, and then I have all of my parents' college friends. And then I was working in commercial real estate in Chicago, and I wasn't doing very well, and my lease was up. So I called my my boss that I moved out here for. I called him, and I said, he was my dad's old boss, and I said, "Len, I need a job, I need a laptop, and I need a desk. And I don't know when I'm coming, but I am, so just hold it for me." And he said, "I'll give you a desk, that's it." And so I said, "Okay, cool." So he gave me a job, and I did commercial real estate for a little while out here until I fell into the food world.
So how do you become attracted into the food? Commercial real estate is one thing. The guy that's actually coming on next hour, says a lot of folks come out here, they don't really know what they want to do, so they just jump into real estate because they think it might be easy or they can be successful at it fairly quickly. But it's a rough game. It's hard to get licensed, blah, blah, blah. So in the midst of that, where do you find the passion for food and decide that's what you want to do?
So I had a friend that took me to the Santa Monica Farmers Market, and then I went to a restaurant called Rustic Canyon, and I noticed on the menu that they were listing all the farmers. And then when I went to the farmers market, I thought, oh, okay, so I can get the same produce that the restaurant has, and I could try to make it at home, and wouldn't that be a fun experiment? My food came out okay, and I started kind of reading cookbooks and learning a little bit, and then I started staging in restaurants, which is French for intern. And so I was working for free in restaurants. After one day a week, I'd go after work and just put on an apron and bug chefs to let me cook for them or cook with them. And I just did a lot of prep work, and sometimes I'd be on the line. And I kind of did that for a little while. And then I started my own pop-up. And then I worked at other pop-ups too, so I could pay for my bills in between commission checks, et cetera. And I just fell in love with all the food stuff because it's so fun.
Where's the barbecue come in? Where does that catch your fancy?
Okay, so a little over a year ago, last Labor Day, I bought a little smoker from Home Depot, a little offset, and I asked my butchers to help me. I wanted to do a little pig, a suckling pig, and a brisket, and chicken and salmon. I wanted to do everything. And they said they'd throw a party with me, but I guess they didn't take me seriously because when I bought everything, they're like, oh, we can't come to your party. And I'm like, who's going to teach me how to smoke meat? Are you kidding? I had all and I was freaking out. And so my roommate at the time, his name was Tyler, he was like, my friend Danny makes fire brisket. Reach out to him. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I reached out to Danny Gordon. He's from Flat Point Barbecue. And I DM'd him on Instagram, 10,000 questions. And I'm like, hey, I'm having a party in 2 days, and I don't know how to smoke meat, but I have a pig, I have salmon, I have chickens, I have a brisket, and I don't know what I'm doing. You have to help me, and you have to help me now. And he like thought I was totally nuts, but he helped me, and he taught me how to smoke meat via Instagram. And then, so after that party, I asked him for a job, and I said, let me work for you. And he's like, but do you have like a regular job? And I was like, yeah, but like I make my own hours, so I want to work for you, so just let me do it. And he did. He gave me a job, and we've been working together. I've been working for him for a year. And then within a couple of months of working with him, I started coming up with the idea of the Bad Jew. I had like the name in my head. I had the logo in mind, but I didn't know what the concept would be. And then I was like, oh my God, pork pastrami, and I can smoke it. How fun. And then I was staging at a restaurant called Birdie G's under Chef Joel Spatafor, and he was making all these krauts, and he was making corned beef one day, and I'm like, oh, corned pork, I can do this. And so between Danny and Joel, I learned how to brine, and I learned how to pickle, and I learned how to ferment. And then the Bad Jew was born. By December, I was serving people off my front porch, and that's how it all started.
Is the pork pastrami something that other people were doing? I mean, I like to think I'm pretty dialed in on a whole bunch of stuff, and I don't know if I've heard of anybody doing it to the level that you're doing it at. Is this kind of your baby?
This is my baby.
Yeah.
I did not invent pork pastrami, I don't think. I mean, there's no way. Someone's had to brine a pork and pork shoulder and smoke it, but I think I'm one of the first people to really, honestly, I don't know, but I've only heard of it coming from the Bad Jew. I've never seen anyone else sell it. I mean, I haven't been in barbecue for very long, so I don't want to say I'm the only one doing it, but I might be. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anybody that's got it on their menu that is of any notoriety or that's, pushing it out as like part and parcel of the whole pop-up experience like the Bad Jew has going on. So, not giving away any secrets or anything, but like what's the process? And then how do you serve pork pastrami?
Okay, so I brine the meat. So I get bone. I switch between bone-in and boneless. I think boneless is better if I'm cooking it to not 200 degrees and not pulling it, and maybe I'll slice it. But I really only did that in the beginning. So I'm doing bone-in, and I brine it for a week. And with I toast my spices, and I do sugar, pink salt, water, and I brine it for a week in the fridge. And then I do a little soak, and then I rub it with the mustard and my rub, and I let it dry out overnight with the rub on it. And then I smoke it for about 10 hours until it reaches like the sweet spot of like 200, 203 degrees. And I wrap it in foil at the 7th or 8th hour, depending on what my bark looks like. Mm-hmm. And that's it. And then I serve it on, so people buy it by the pound or on, I have a sandwich called the Danny Boy. So the Bad Jew, it's like, essentially, it started out as, it's like Jewish deli food, but bad because it's not kosher. Good, but
good
not
but bad.
Bad.
Right.
And so it's but I've also I made sandwiches for friends today. I had some leftover pork pastrami, and I did a really delicious sandwich on a baguette with sour cherry jam and spicy giardiniera and greens and shaved manchego cheese, and it was delicious. So I've been doing a lot of pop-ups to show how versatile the pork pastrami is. So yes, it can be on like a Jewish deli style sandwich, or it can be on a farmer's market forward sandwich, or you can put it in ravioli if you want. You can do whatever you want with it. When people buy it by the pound, oftentimes they're making these beautiful dishes at home and they're showing me, and like I love seeing that. I love that.
Rebecca King, the Bad Jew, joining me here on the show. TheBadJewLA.com is the website. So, like, you've been the Bad Jew now for coming up on a year, or maybe it's like right around a year since we just broached into December here today.
Yes.
I have become increasingly interested in pop-ups. It's not a new concept by any stretch, but I was interviewing Rodney Scott a couple weeks ago, who was a whole hog master down there in South Carolina. And he did, so when he was running his parents' place, the whole pit room burned down to the fucking ground, like to nothing. And he did a Rodney Scott in Exile tour. And within 18 days, he raised $80,000 and went back home and rebuilt the whole pit room and all this other stuff. I have no idea realistically what that number means. So as somebody who does pop-ups, regularly to kind of live, is there an opportunity to make really good money and doing something that you are really passionate about at the same time?
Absolutely. I mean, there are so many pop-ups in LA, and people are so there's pop-ups around the country, right? And people are so into supporting small business. And I mean, you don't have a ton of overhead because you're not all of your money is going towards rent, but there's definitely an opportunity to make a living here. I mean, I'm doing it. All my friends are doing it. Like there's, you just have to work really hard. I'm having the time of my life. I'm having so much fun, but I cry once a week too, because I'm like, oh my God, I'm so tired. I can't think of that. But you just have to work your ass off, and you have to be willing to wake up at 4 a.m. to smoke meat, and you have to really push yourself and do things you're not used to doing to make it work. And I don't think that's just for pop-ups. That's for restaurants and anything you're passionate about, anything that you're getting started. So yeah, if you work really hard and you look at your numbers and you make sure you're making money, I mean, there's definitely a way to do it. I haven't made a ton of money yet, but I plan to.
What's the end goal, Rebecca? What do you want to do? You want to open the Bad Jew brick and mortar? Do you want to just have multiple mobile situations? What's the deal?
Okay, so people keep asking me that, and I would love to have an old school diner or a deli with the leather seats and the deli case and all of my krauts and different types of pastrami's. But I think my bigger goal, what I really want to do, I want to do wholesale. I want Kroger to be carrying pork pastrami. I want to be everywhere. I think that I have an amazing product, and it's extremely versatile, and I think I would love people in Cleveland to be able to eat it, and I'd love people in Texas to be able to eat it. So I'm just, in the next year, 2, 3, whatever, I've obviously, I don't come from wholesale meats, so I have a lot of work to do, but that's what I want to learn, and that's what I want to get into. And then for fun, and I'd love to open up a little deli. Hopefully people can dine in again. I would love that. I think it would be amazing. I would have great music playing and good food, dancing, people being happy eating my pastrami. That's all I want.
Had you known that COVID was coming just literally months after you officially got going last December, do you think that you would have waited or, tried some other concept, or did it really not matter? You now had the passion, and regardless of what health climate we find ourselves in now, 8 months later, this was something that you were going to be doing no matter what.
This is something I'm going to be doing no matter what. And I think, I don't know. Seeing the COVID stuff has been hard, and it's been hard on a lot of my friends. But at the same time, people are getting creative, and there's this family energy that's going around. Everyone wants to help each other. Everyone's trying to get creative, and it's honestly, the COVID thing yeah, it fucking sucks, but it's also been super beautiful to be a part of and to be able to make friends and to push each other and to keep going and to work even harder through all this. I don't know. It's been really inspirational to be doing this with a lot of other people and having all this kind of support. And also seeing the support of the community, people that aren't in the industry that just, but they're wanting to support small business and, you know, it's been good in a way.
We are talking with Rebecca King. She is the owner of The Bad Jew, and you can find her at thebadjewla.com. She's also a Buckeye, also a Bobcat, and I'm excited to have her here for the first time. Rebecca, thanks so much for a great first interview. Continued success.
Thank you so much. This is awesome.
You got it. There she is, Rebecca King. The Bad Jew, right there. If you didn't know who the Bad Jew was, it's Rebecca. She's the Bad Jew. All right. I had no idea she was a Buckeye. Or she was a Bobcat. As I'd said before, I knew she was an East Sider. By the way, she made a very broad stroke East Side with all my other Jewish friends. I mean, not everybody that lives on the East Side. There just happen to be two really big pockets. Beechwood, Orange, whatever. Shaker. That doesn't mean everybody. Come on. We're talking. All right, that was Rebecca King. Let me talk to you quickly about Southside Market Barbecue before we get ready for the second hour. Established in 1882. The oldest barbecue joint in Texas, owned and operated by the same family for 3 generations, offering premium Central Texas barbecue products, shipping nationwide through FedEx, and food service distribution channels like Sysco, U.S. Foods, and Martin Foods. Co-packaging capable from research and development to package completion. They can follow your recipe or help you develop something brand new. Private label opportunities also available. SouthsideMarket.com is a place to go to shop online, and you can save 10% on your online order with promo code BBQ Central. All one word and lowercase, BBQ Central, for 10% off all your orders at SouthsideMarket.com each and every time you go. We're back to wrap the first hour right after this. Stick around. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the #1 most downloaded barbecue and grilling podcast anywhere. The BBQ Central Show. Continuing to produce incredibly mediocre content in an exceptionally professional way. You're listening and watching the BBQ Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back, and we thank Rebecca King for joining me last segment. This portion brought to you by Fireboard. Monitor up to 6 different temperatures simultaneously. You can connect through Wi-Fi for cloud-based monitoring or the Bluetooth. If you have Alexa or the Google Assistant, or maybe you're going to get one for Christmas, you're in luck. Fireboard fully integrated with both. Find out more about the Fireboard 2 and Fireboard 2 Drive and Fireboard 2 Thermocouple Edition by going to fireboard.com. Or call 816-945-2232. That's 816-945-2232. Rebecca King just emailing me back. Thank you so much. Can't believe the internet went out. We were ready to go video. I wore glitter for you. You know, if I had $1 for every time the ladies said that to me, I would have exactly $1. All right, so if you're in the LA area and you want to try pork strami, and there are a couple different locations. If you go to her website, it's got like the whole pop-up schedule and stuff. So I would love to get out there and try pork strami. That Rebecca sandwich looks great, and the Danny Boy, as she had mentioned, looks great. Plus, there's other stuff she does with some of the restaurants that she's partnering with. Very unique. And a go-getter out there. She said, hey, COVID or not, this thing was going to happen. And in some respects, COVID actually kind of a beautiful thing. Great perspective right there. All right, we are pointing to the second hour. Sam, the cooking guy, is going to be in. We have plenty to talk about. Maybe he's been up to L.A. and had some of the Bad Jews' food. I will talk to Sam about that, amongst other things. Top of the second hour is coming up. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Briskedor, the barbecue wizard, and you're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Bye-bye!
Happy to have you aboard here for the really big barbecue show.
Boing.
We cook because we have to, and we grill because we want to.
Hit me.
Fine, how's it going?
You have a great show. I'm a big fan.
Boing.
So what seems to be the problem here? This man looks like he's dead, and he's in the crackle.
Charbono! It's all about the charbono, dude!
Succulent fish. What?
He ate 2 feet for wiener.
Oh, listen, Lavernius, shake your face.
I'm shaking like a dog shit peach seeds.
We have top men working on it right now. Top men.
Hey, just like that, we are into the second hour. Welcome aboard. It's the Barbecue Central Show. Doing live fire, fun, and frivolity things because it is the live fire, fun, and frivolity show. If you missed the first hour, you missed George Moats leading off the show, talking about doing a 21-pound rotisserie turkey last Thursday. It was one of those heritage breed turkeys, $6 a pound. That's a $130 turkey he had, by the way. If you can do quick math, I can do that. We just closed the first hour with Rebecca King, who runs The Bad Jew LA. TheBadJewLA.com is her website. Doing such things as pork strami, to be found on sandwiches named the Rebecca and the Danny Boy, just to name a few. So if you missed the first hour, no problem. I am taping as well, and you can get the podcast at 55 past 11. Actually, it'll probably show up like 2 or 3 in the morning because, as I've mentioned any number of times, podcast feeds don't refresh instantaneously anymore because everybody's got a podcast. Still to come on the show, Sam the Cooking Guy, of course. You can follow me socially at BBQ Central Show on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Snapchat /BBQ Central Show on the Facebooks and Twitch /RD Rempe on YouTube, if you care to find me and watch me on those platforms. Coming up on the best moments of the Barbecue Central Show in 10 minutes or less this Friday, episode 153, taking you back to December 13th, 2011. And I have said it time and time again when these appear. I am not overly a fan or comfortable when the segments are just me. I don't mind being the moderator of a guest. But when the show singles just me out, sometimes it can be a little cringeworthy. Sometimes I find my word choice 8 and 10 and 12 years ago to be lackluster, could have been better, could have been a lot better. But this time around, I am recounting a time back in 2011 when I was using my Weber Smoky Mountain cooker, which, by the way, was the very first barbecue pit I ever owned, a Weber Smoky Mountain that my wife Becky got me for Father's Day. And within this story, I tell you, I was cooking 4 racks of ribs, which was routine at that point. I was a pretty accomplished Weber Smoky Mountain cooker. And this was, I think it was cold winter time, obviously December 13th. An incredible amount of steam collected in the dome of the cooker. I had never seen that happen before. But as I raised the lid, 3/4 of it had a steam patch. I don't even know what the hell to call it. But steam was there, and only because the wind was whipping did it get into the top of the bowl, and eventually it exhausted out. But, I mean, otherwise I could have sat it down on the ground and the steam would have just sat there, or it was a mixture of smoke steam. Stoke. I have no idea what the hell it was. It never happened to me again after that. So I have to ask you, anybody that's got a WSM that's done cooks on it before in fairly inclement weather, have you ever had a collection of steam that would not exhaust? It caused the ribs to get dark, really dark. And in fact, as you listen to the show, I actually pulled them off and finished them in the oven because I probably would have ended up black as night if I would have left them on the normal way, but I couldn't do it. So I want to know, have you had a similar incident with a Weber Smoky Mountain at any point where you had like this collection of steam and smoke all just collected up in the top for no reason? Also, let me remind you that if you have a favorite segment or guest and you want John to put something together for you, email him, Jon, at thebbqcentralshow.com, John at thebbqcentralshow.com. And, of course, you have to subscribe to the podcast feed in order to get the best of shows and any replays of the show for a Tuesday night if you miss it live. Let me apologize here. There were a small handful of you that emailed for the Barbecue Central Show branded masks that look like this, and I haven't obviously gotten them out yet. I do plan on doing that this week, so if you want one, shoot me a quick email in the subject line. Just put, COVID mask or whatever the hell you want to put, the name and address, and I will send one out this week. If you're not going to wear it, don't be a douche. Have me send you one, just because you think it's cool to have. Or I want somebody that's going to wear it out and promote the show. Like, that's the whole deal behind it. Be safe first, but promotion of the show, too. I've had a number of people ask me, what's with the Barbecue Central show? Oh, you don't know me? I'm from here. Y'all don't know me? Also, I do want to mention this only because they sent out an email to folks they like or have had as guests on their show at some point. And that podcast being called Baseball and Barbecue. It's getting ready to celebrate its 3rd anniversary of producing shows. And I was a guest of theirs a while back, one of the very first handful of guests that they brought on. And Len and Jeff put on a very unique show that covers both topics very well. They also, for whatever reason, refused to step into at least 1997 and upgrade their sound at all, even by the slightest of margins. If I might say that COVID is the best thing that has happened to that show from a sound quality standpoint, I don't think I would be embellishing at all. The use of Zoom or whatever the hell they're using has made a noticeable difference. But guys, let's buy a couple microphones. 3 years in, let's make some attempt at getting a better audio setup going. Maybe you guys don't live in the same town, or you do it remotely. You don't like each other that much, and you have to have distance between you, whatever the case may be. At this point, 3 years in, we can invest a little bit on the audio quality. If you go back and listen to my interview, it sounded like they held up a transistor radio to the microphone. I was ready to claw my ears off. However, that does not change the fact that they have some really good baseball guests, and they have really good barbecue guests. For instance, Chad Ward from Whiskey Bent and Traeger, Texas embedded correspondent Doug Scheiding, who's now going on for the 78th time in December to talk more baseball than barbecue. By the way, Doug is a huge baseball fan, a Chicago Cubs fan. We won't hold it against him, but he's a huge baseball fan. And, of course, me, right in the very beginnings. So, hey now, I want to say to Len and to Jeff, congratulations on 3 solid years. You've done it. Now, times that by 4, add 3 years to the top of that, and we will be even. How about that? There you go. I'm just wondering from the general public, if you think that they will cut and use any of that congratulatory message that I just sent them. Terry Tysinger, looking forward to some lively swearing from Sam coming up in a few minutes. Definitely need to coordinate our Coronado trips with yours to see him. Well, Terry, I don't know when that's actually going to be happening. I would like to say soon. I would, but, who knows? Guy Chisholm, how's the ear? Are you powering through? Damn right I'm powering through. You can see right here I have this stylish piece of cotton ball jammed in my ear that is soaked with bacitracin on the end that's going in my ear. I don't want to get all medical, but basically here, like from here all the way down here to my lobe is an incision, and they cut my fucking ear right off my head. I didn't know. They didn't say, hey, by the way, we're going to make this huge incision, pull your ear off and lay it on your face so we can have unimpeded access to your ear holes while we tear down your eardrum and give you 2 new hearing bone prosthetics, reinforce the wall that's near your brain because, oh, by the way, this thing has compromised the integrity of that wall, this tumor in your ear. And then on the way out, we'll rebuild your eardrum, make it nice and straight. We'll jam up the eustachian tube willy, and then as we're backing out, we'll put in a big-ass drill bit and bore a big-ass hole coming out. We'll just straighten everything right out. Clean shot in. As a thank you, you can show up to our office twice a year, and we'll industrially clean out your ear, because you're not going to be allowed to do that anymore. I didn't mention that, and we'll sew your ear back on for you. I don't know if you can tell, but it's fucked up. I think I got not only malpractice, but we got malfeasance afoot. Thank you, Guy, for asking. I did have that set to talk about, but I lost time at the top. All right, before Sam comes in, we'll talk to you quickly about Green Mountain Grill, some of the best pellet cookers out there on the market today. You know I love mine. Mine are sitting right out on the brand new patio right now, getting hammered with snow and rain and ice and sleet and everything else Cleveland can throw at it. But since I'm not a shithead, I keep my grills covered, and they are loving me for it. You can get a choice line if you want to save a couple bucks. Jim Bowie, Daniel Boone. You don't want Wi-Fi, you don't want internal meat probes, you don't need any of that. Save a couple bucks. Get the choice line. I have 2 of them. Love them. Now, want to spend a couple more bucks? We have the holiday season coming up, of course. Want to impress your lover of some sort? Give them the Prime line. You got 2 internal meat probes. You got Wi-Fi capability with app access. Also, you can use the look-in windows on the cooking chamber, on the pellet hopper. You can go one step further than Prime, go Prime Plus, and get lights inside the cooker. Yeah, inside the cooker. That's right. Anyway, whichever option you choose, know that you can't go wrong. If you're more into the traveling, get the Davy Crockett. I don't mention that enough. That can go right in the back of trucks, vans, and FUVs. You can take it on hunting trips like Malcolm's on right now. You can get a decent amount of capacity without sacrificing portability. Go to greenmountaingrills.com. That's greenmountaingrills.com. And check out all the dealers and where they're at in respect to where you live. And then get all those accessories. I tell you each and every week, if you get the Daniel Boone or the Jim Bowie, got to get that pizza oven insert. Got to do it. Must have. All right, Sam, the cooking guy, I'm sure will be loading in here momentarily. He was shooting earlier today. Maybe we'll get some behind-the-scenes quick questions and answers on what we can expect later in the week from him. So stick around. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the #1 most downloaded barbecue and grilling podcast anywhere. The Barbecue Central Show. Howard Howard Stern, Jim Rome, Dan Patrick, and Greg Rempe. The Mountain Rushmore of talk show entertainment. Now, let's get back to the Barbecue Central Show.
Hey, this portion of the show being brought to you by Pit Barrel Cooker, the most unbelievable outdoor cooking device on the planet. Currently available in 2 sizes with a host of accessories. Whether you're a beginner or a professional, or perhaps lying somewhere in between them. Definitely a cooker you want to add to the arsenal. Visit pitbarrelcooker.com. Tell them the Barbecue Central Show sent you, and away you go. There's going to be a 3rd size coming. I know I've been teasing it. I haven't been able to get confirmation from Noah or Amber on that, but it's coming. There might be a stainless steel option as well. Nevertheless, my next guest blows it up all over YouTube with 2.39 million subscribers as of December 1st, which is earlier today, giving you no less than 3 cooking videos per week. And who knows where the hell this conversation is going to go this evening, so why don't we just jump headlong right into it. We welcome back Barbecue Central Show guest Hall of Famer, Sam the Cooking Guy. Hey, pal.
Did you get a haircut?
Do I need them all cut?
Did you get a haircut?
No,
you
I
look
didn't.
very handsome.
I did not. But, well, see, what's happened. Well, guess what, folks? We're already off the rails.
Sorry. Didn't mean to do that.
So what's happened is, and as you had checked up on me, Friday later in the evening for me, early in the afternoon for you, on my ear surgery, I really wasn't allowed to, get into the shower and, do a lot of head washing because of the whole incision that goes over my ear behind it.
I understand. I get you.
This is kind of like the first time I've washed my hair in 4 days. So it just doesn't have the same, let's say, shine, body, bounce, luster, whatever you want to call it.
Well, thank you for cleaning up for me at least.
Yeah, and also I shave too. This is what it looks like when I'm freshly shaved.
And the bad Jew in L.A.
Yes, we got the bad Jew. I was disappointed because she has this thing, if you follow her socially, that they have this thing called a prom, and I didn't know what the hell it meant. So when I was sound checking with her last night, she was going to be on video actually, and then her internet shit out minutes before she was supposed to come on. So we had to work the whole phone aspect of it. And of course, in the email,
do you really believe that?
Yes, 100%.
Or is it possible that she herself had a shitty hair day, just was in sweats and not feeling like looking glamorous for the show, and she went, "Oh, Greg, I had my internet blew up. I can only be on audio."
Okay, so I'm glad you asked that question because I was going to explain before you decided to continue to make your point that thanks so much. This is an email from the bad Jew, by the way. Thanks so much. Can't believe the internet went out. I wore glitter for you. So to me, that signals she was ready to be on video. She was.
Yeah. Did she send you a picture?
No.
Did she send you a picture?
Do you think?
Well, come on.
What am I saying? I'm not going to ask for a picture. That would be mega creep.
I didn't say you should ask.
Hold on. Let me reply to this email. Dear Rebecca, Sam the Cooking Guy says you should send me a picture of the glitter to confirm that you weren't ditching video otherwise. Please send immediately. I'm copying Sam on this email. Okay, I just said it. Now we'll see.
I'm just saying, I don't know. When was the last time your whole internet completely took a shit and you couldn't do a thing?
It's probably been a handful of months.
Just happened to coincide with a visual appearance.
I don't want to.
She just wasn't feeling it, and that's okay because we all sometimes just don't feel it.
But she sound checked last night after working her pop up. I'm not saying that she looked bad, but I can't imagine that she looked worse tonight. What are you trying to bring me down? I don't get it.
Not you. No.
No?
I'm just saying if you don't.
Yeah, but you find it. Your first inclination that was she was taking a shit on the video. She didn't feel like it. She wasn't feeling good.
And I completely get that. There's times when I'm in Zoom. We have a weekly Zoom call for the restaurants. And two guys notoriously are never on camera. It's just their name. John is up there. And I'm like, oh, well, what's up? Come on.
Yeah.
I like to see people when I have a conversation. I want to know what's going on. I want to know why John doesn't have his camera going. Maybe he's in his jammies. Maybe he's just like shoveling pancakes or something. He doesn't want us to see that. And that's okay. I'm just saying, maybe she would have gone, I'm not feeling it. Just let me go audio. I don't know.
Okay. Well,
I'm not starting a fight.
No,
I'm just
there's no
saying,
fight starting. There's no
seconds before is a little spurious, don't you think?
little spurious. Are you saying that there might be a level of controversy that we aren't taking into account?
1,000%. There's always a level of controversy.
Yes, indeed. All I know is Guy the Cooking Sam is worried that we were about to embark on a 45-minute talk of hair. So, needless to say, we're totally off of that. Don't worry about it. Sam the Cooking Guy is right here on the show, thecookingguy.com, his website, of course. And if you're not subscribed to him on YouTube, please go and do that and get him to the 2.4 million subscriber mark as quickly as possible. Can we talk cutlery sales? Can we do that?
Yeah, go ahead. Go
All
ahead.
right.
Go ahead.
So if you go to the web, there's an additional website, makeamericacookagain.com. You can get these cutlery pieces. Not only can you get...
Yours were supposed to be there right freaking now.
What are you talking about?
Sorry.
Right now?
What do you mean? Look, if I check the stupid tracking on this...
Yeah?
They were supposed to be delivered by 8 p.m. tonight. What time is it there?
It's 10:21
or something dumb. Like,
10:21.
They're supposed to freaking be there.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Well, let me do this.
Go call. Yell upstairs. You're in the basement, right?
Yeah. So I have to text. I always hate to text. Do I have a package?
Come for me.
From
I have a package.
Sam.
It doesn't matter if it's me. They'll just.
Yeah, but everybody thinks I'm a big shot in the house when I can say Sam. Like when you call me,
are a big shot.
I go over to like Maddie or Bobby or Marley if they're there, and I just hold it up because it says Sam Zion, and they're like, "Ooh, Sam's calling you." It's like, yeah, baby, you think I'm a big shot? It's the little things in life, Sam. All right, so we'll see if that shows or makes its way down here, so then I can actually hand job them on the video.
Wait, go back to you can what?
I can hand job them on the video. That's production talk for doing one of these things. Hand model.
I understand now.
Show them by hand.
Gotcha. All right, let's talk about things the audience cares about, not our nonsense. Because we talk multiple times a week now.
Yes. Now it's.
Am I right?
Now it's a full-on love affair.
Now, I just dropped. One of my kids just pulled up outside. I handed him something.
Yeah.
And he said, "What are you doing?" I go, "It's a Barbecue Central thing." He goes, "Oh, your boyfriend."
Yes.
I went, "Yes, it's my boyfriend."
Or whatever the kids do these days. Yeah. So let's talk. There's pieces of cutlery that are available, but also there are sets that are available. So what is available? I know I was going back and forth with you a little bit the other day. So, as we are sitting here at 10:22 and or 8:22, respectively, time zone, what's available on Make America Cook Again?
The Nikiri, the 7-inch Nikiri that we started selling in February and sold like crazy. And so we've now added an 8-inch chef's knife, an 8-inch serrated offset bread knife, and a 4-inch paring knife. It's a great set. You could do almost anything you had to do in a kitchen with this. Like I've said for a long time, you only need one good knife. And that knife should be one that fits in your hand, feels right, and you're comfortable using. I'm not saying go out and buy 4 knives. I'm not going out and saying you should buy my knives. I'm just saying a good knife is really all you need. But if you want to splurge a little bit like a bread knife would be an amazing addition, because cutting bread with a straight blade is not the thing to do. You'll just squish the loaf. The serrated nature of it is really there for a reason. It saws through.
Mm-hmm.
You can cut a baguette, a fresh loaf of baked bread, and when you go through with the serrated knife, it doesn't compress. It's going to compress with any other blade. The other reason to have a serrated knife is soft, squishy tomatoes don't cut well with many knives. Serrated blade is ideal for that. So we've got the serrated, we've got the chef's knife, we've got the little baby paring knife. The 4-inch paring knife is my wife's favorite knife. She likes a small knife. It does everything she wants. She's happy with it.
I have to tell you, like, I've seen paring knives through my many years, especially, cutlery is a big part of the whole, barbecue situation anyway. But I've never understood where the best use of a paring knife is. Like, why do I want that in the arsenal, and what are its best uses?
When you're doing small things, small cuts, I cooked the episode that will air. What's today? Today's Tuesday?
Yes,
the episode
Tuesday.
that will air tomorrow. The episode that will air tomorrow is this one pan steak in a honey garlic cream sauce, honey mustard cream sauce. Sorry. And so I cooked. I made it today on the show. Sent a picture of it to Kelly. Hold on, let me see if I can send a picture. Do you want me to send you this picture? Or should I show you the picture?
You can show me the picture. By the way, Guy the Cooking Sam wants to know, when is the Sam the Cooking Guy prison shank going to be available? Asking for a friend. Oh,
That's
yeah,
really
look
funny.
at that.
I don't know how good that shows, right?
Yeah,
Hold on.
yep, show's good. Yep. Good stuff.
So, Kelly, I sent a picture of it to Kelly, and she goes, absolutely in love, want it for dinner. It's her favorite thing. I haven't made it for a long time. I've forgotten about it until Max reminded me that it was in our arsenal. And so she likes shallots. I did that with a regular onion. So I brought a shallot home today to make this. And the shallot is small, and a smaller scale knife is ideal for that.
All right.
Sometimes you make something in a pan, a baking thing, you need to loosen the edges. A small knife is perfect for that. Peeling an apple, peeling anything. It's ideal. Sometimes you just want a small knife.
Sam the Cooking Guy joining us here on the show. Can I? I have to ask. I have to ask the tough question here, right?
Go ahead.
A lot of knives out there. You got. Evidently, there's 5 different kinds of Henkel knives. Some are $10, and some are $10,000. And there's JR. There's.
By the way,
yeah.
Based on where they're made, that's the difference, I think.
There's a brand out there, and perhaps you know about this, or you think I'm trying to pull a joke over, but it's called F. Dick. It's really the name, F. Dick Knife Company.
I know F. Dick.
F. Dick.
By the way, I own an F. Dick knife.
Me too.
The blade is ridiculously large. It's a red-handled, crazy-ass thing.
Yeah, incredible. So, given the swath and encompassing quality of knives, like, where do we rate Sam the Cooking Guy knives? And I ask this because, A, I want you to be as unbiased as you can on rating the quality of the knife. But also,
I'm going to try to be.
This is unique because, rarely do I get the time to speak with somebody who is selling something to the public. And, like, literally your face is on that. I mean, usually it's the name or it's a signature brand of X or Y. So, to me, that means there has to be an apparent amount of quality that is inherent with the manufacturer that you're dealing with before that you would want to partner. So how does that whole marriage come together, and what do you like?
I met a guy from a knife company here in the States maybe 10 years ago. I was introduced to him by somebody else. And it happened because I was judging trying to remember what the event was. I was judging some event. I don't really think it was cooking. I think it was I think it was chefs, like a mini American Idol kind of thing, and the winner got a couple of knives, and so I'm handed some knives to give to the winners, and then the guy hands me a Guy Fieri knife. At the end, he goes, "Here, I just want you to have this one." And I go like, "Wow, a Guy Fieri knife." Not the hugest fan, but it looks like a pretty good knife. I started using it. I appreciated it for what it was, the weight, the blade, the steel. It just felt good. And the guy that gave it to me wasn't that guy that made the knife, but ultimately made an introduction. And I kept his name. And I was in Germany in 2000 and the beginning of 2019. And I bought a $30 carbon steel knife at like a street fair, and I loved it. I loved the shape. I loved the handle. It was, but it was a short knife. And I came back and I went, I love this, but it would be cool if I could sort of customize it, make it mine. And I thought, wait a second, I've had this guy in my contact file forever. So I reached out and I go, if I send you this, can we talk about making a version of it that works for me? Because it's exactly what we do. So there was a lot of back and forth. This size, this shape, the handle like this. He goes, I can't make it exact like this, because I go, I don't want it exactly like this, but I sort of want it sort of like, you know, he read me well, and we ended up with our 7-inch Nakiri. And we started selling that in like February or something, and on pre-sale, and literally sold out within a few weeks, everything that we had ordered. And it was crazy. And then we've continued. So we did that, and then we didn't have any for a while. And then we thought, let's add to it. And what would we add? And I added the things that I would use. I would use a bread knife because I think it's important. I would use a slightly larger chef's knife for certain things. And then a little knife is always, as I've just said, super freaking handy. So that's how it started. And the knives have sold like hotcakes, which I've always thought is a stupid expression. I mean, do pancakes really sell that well?
They make international houses of them.
Oh my God. So there you are. Yeah. That's all the proof that I needed.
Right.
So my knife, it's great. It's good German steel. It's made in China, and some people are going to have a problem with that, but it lets us sell it at a price point that doesn't break the bank. And that was important for us. It's made really well. It's a beautiful freaking knife. The Sam the Cooking Guy name is on it. On the butt of the handle is that logo that's sort of up there.
Yeah.
That face that's up there, that's on the butt of the handle, right? So we like the look of the knife. We like the feel of the knife. The Nakiri is beautifully balanced. The whole thing is, they sit in my drawer. I open up the drawer in the morning. I look at them and I'm in love with these. The pack of wood handle is gorgeous. The whole thing. If you look, you're not going to buy the knife probably if you don't have at least some association to the channel, right? Or me, or you've known me for whatever.
Right.
But for those that do, people are really happy, really excited about them. There's been a bunch of unboxing videos for my stupid shit. It just like warms my heart. It really does. Really does. So,
all right. Well, if you're interested, or you got some holiday, or you need some holiday gift ideas, MakeAmericaCookAgain.com is the place you want to go and pick up some new cutlery for your loved one. And we're talking with Sam, the Cooking Guy. Sam, hold on just for 1 second. I'm going to talk to the folks about the Barbecue Guru, and then we will be right back with you as we pick up. And maybe we'll talk about the McRib video that you did. And we're also going to do a poll with my viewers, so we can arm you with even more instant feedback for a item that we talked about yesterday, I think it was. So stand by for that. We're talking with Sam, the Cooking Guy, thecookingguy.com, his website. I'll talk to you quickly about the Barbecue Guru. Look, they have the 2 new controllers that are out. DynaQ, Ultra Q. If you have a ceramic cooker, a bullet-style cooker, kettle-style smoker, they'll even work on some offset cookers as well. Depending on the level of tech that you want, the DynaQ is the one that has replaced the Party Q, which was the cruise control or the easiest access point for barbecue guru controllers. Then you have the NanaQ, that's more high-end tech. So depending on what you want, DynaQ or NanaQ, both in stock, both ready to ship for free. Maybe you took advantage of some of the stuff that I was sharing socially on the Black Friday and then the associated Small Business Monday, Cyber Monday, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, whatever the hell it was. Small Business Saturday, Giving Tuesday, blah, blah, blah. If you have questions about something that the Barbecue Guru is selling, maybe it's about the Monolith Cooker, maybe it's about some of the accessories, give them a call, 800-288-GURU. That's 800-288-GURU. You can also visit their website and see everything that they offer. BBQGuru.com. That's BBQGURU.com. And that way you can make sure that you have all your questions answered. When it shows up, it will go on your cooker. You'll know how to install. And then really, you're off and running from there. Barbecue Guru has been around forever. They're continuing to bring breakthroughs to the market, just like these two brand new controllers. Plus, remember, that ceramic cooker, you get a lot of accessories. It's not just the cooker like a lot of these other guys. BBQGuru.com or 800-288-GURU. The Barbecue Guru continuing to be a breakthrough in barbecue technology. And we are back with Sam the Cooking Guy right after this. Stick around.
You're listening to the #1 most downloaded barbecue and grilling podcast anywhere. The Barbecue Central Show. Celebrating over 10 years of prolific and unparalleled live fire barbecue and grilling talk. And yes, it's still being done from Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show.
Welcome back. This portion of the show being brought to you by Smithfield. You go to smithfield.com to get grilling tips throughout the rest of the year. Now, as the new year is starting to turn, smoking with Smithfield.com. Another place you're going to want to go. It's too late to do the grant program stuff, as you know, but you might want to sign up for that Committed Cooks program. Smoking with Smithfield.com is the place to go for that. And we'll be looking forward to having Laura Paul on as the year turns, talk about some new stuff that she has going on with Smithfield and the show. There's Sam the Cooking Guy right there. Thanks for hanging with me through the break. So, Sam, let me ask you on the other thing that was out for sale now. We had teased it. It's I almost did it. The Intentional Leftovers Cookbook. I almost psyched myself.
Recipes with intentional leftovers.
Yes. So
I'll help you.
Where are we at with that on reception? Doing well?
Well, I'll just say this.
Right.
Amazon
yes?
just put it in the 20 best cookbook. 20 best cookbooks category for 2020.
Wow. Congratulations.
My literary agent sent me a text today and said, am I reading? I think I'm reading this right, but your book is now considered by Amazon to be in their 20 best cookbooks. They do like their favorite cookbooks, their favorite books in many categories. And in the cookbook category, I'm one of the 20 chosen ones.
And this is just based on their opinion, or is this also with some type of a sales metric behind it?
I don't know. I don't know how they do it. She didn't know how they do it. And I don't think they tell how they do it.
Yeah,
so either way, if it was a sales metric, I'd be happy. If it was just their book procurer people's opinion, I'd still be happy. So I'm happy either way. It's fun to be on that list. I'm honored, and it's huge. I mean, I didn't imagine that would have happened with this book. No, you write a book and you hope it does well. You don't know it's going to end up on an Amazon best cookbooks of 2020 list.
Is it are you concerned about that? Like, you put out a book, and this is your fifth book something like that. So I mean, it's not like this is your first one and it's like a whole new fourth book.
Fourth, yep. Yep.
With this one, it goes out. You have X amount of weeks pass. Do you call people and say, hey, what are the numbers? Do you secretly lament to yourself or pine at knowing what numbers are? Do you even have any idea what would be good numbers versus bad numbers? How does it work for you? Because it would drive me nuts. I would aside from the fact that I hate reading, I don't want to read, and I never would want to write a book. All that aside, which pretty much blows up a bookshop. It would
so glad
it would be like really nerve-wracking for me to put something out and then not knowing every second of the day how well it's trending.
I have 3 restaurants. I've never once looked at a Yelp review.
Ever?
I don't care. Wait, let me take that back. There are people that look and address the things that are worthy of addressing.
Yeah.
But a lot of Yelp reviews, and I think your viewers and listeners would agree with this, a lot of Yelp reviews are just people that suddenly have found an outlet for their voice. And the shit that's always bothered me is people that will write about an Indian restaurant. Food was this, I had this. It's just sort of okay. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. Honestly, I don't really like Indian food anyways. And that person's qualified to judge an Indian restaurant? We got here, I'm in Gray's right now. We had a 3 out of 5 star Yelp review from a woman who wrote, loved the food, she named a couple things, but in the middle of eating, a homeless person walked by and asked if they could have something. And before I could say yes or no, they snatched something off our table and walked away.
Oh.
That's now my fault.
No.
I got dinged down 2 stars because of that. So look, social media has developed this ability for people to sit in their underwear in their mother's basement, all gross and everything, and just attack. You suck. You're no good. I hate your food. I hate your restaurants. I hate you. You're ugly. You can't cook, in my case. And they do it to other people and everybody that is in the public eye, even a little bit, a modicum of light shining on them. They get that. So I don't look at those things. That being said, there's people at the restaurant that look at them because of something significant. They have to address it. You have to. You can't let something go. That's just being naive.
Sam the Cooking Guy
joining me. When it comes to books, though.
Yeah.
Finish. Go ahead.
No, I wasn't.
Sam the Cooking Guy joining me right there. When it comes to the books, though, I look at where the book is, how the book is ranking. I saw today. It was 225 or something reviews, all 5 stars.
Wow.
Sorry. Whatever the stars were, I'm sure somebody gave me lousy because not everybody likes me. But whatever it was they were the number of stars were 5, and there was 223 or 5 or something reviews. My father-in-law, my very first cookbook, gave me a 2-star review.
What?
I don't think he knew what he was doing. He wouldn't have done that. He doesn't cook. I'm pretty certain he didn't read it. He bought the book and he just absolutely effed up. So what are you going to do, man?
You have to account for everything.
It's nuts. Yeah. So I would make myself crazy if I looked at that stuff every minute of the day. So I don't.
I have been taking shots at McDonald's over the past few weeks because tomorrow the McRib rolls out nationwide. And what I found fascinating in a correlative way is that the McRib video that you guys did a week or so ago has damn near hit 400,000 views already. Now, It's really one of the more popular videos covering a 4 to 6 week span, as I was kind of jumbling up the numbers here before we came on. And it's like by tens of thousands of views, give or take. Do we chalk this up to viewers being above the offering that McDonald's gives them, or do we have to credit McDonald's and say anything with McRib in the title is going to get eyeballs and watches?
Honestly, I think it's sort of mostly the latter.
Is that maddening?
It does get attention. It's maddening because of how you and I both feel about the actual McDonald's McRib. Like, I think it's just fucking horrendous.
Yeah. So does Rodney Scott.
I think it's horrendous.
Yeah.
Or Rodney Scott should feel like that.
Yeah.
But so we did our version. I made my own French baguette. It's like 18 inches. I made my own ribs. This is not I can't remember what they call it, a pre-formed rib-like patty kind of thing. God knows what goes into that. Nobody knows. McDonald's knows. And they form it so it looks like there was bones. The ribs are bones or something. The meat's bone. It's just crazy. So we cooked full racks of ribs long enough that you could just pull the bones out. And that went on. I made my own French bread. That was the basis of the up and down part of it. And then the sauce would have pickles and the whole thing. And it was effing delicious. This one, mine. And I would argue for any of your fans making anything rib-like and putting it in some kind of bread thing, whether you make the bread or not yourself, it's going to be better than that piece of shit thing from McDonald's. But what do? People love it. It's iconic, and we all like things that are not necessarily fantastic because they're iconic. Would your cat just pee on your cables down there?
It just came by. I hadn't seen a cat all show, and then all of a sudden one just brushed by my leg, scared the shit out of me. So I thought it was going to be me peeing on the floor, but thank God it was not. Now, let's do this. A quick poll for everybody that's watching live, and we can get some feedback. And podcasters, whenever you hear this, go ahead and email me. I will relay back to Sam. Does anybody want to see Sam make a pot pie of some sort on an upcoming show? Because this is a conversation that we had the other day, and it was shocking to me that the person on the other side of the camera seems to be a little down on doing pot pie for whatever reason. So first, let me
anti-pot pie.
Let me ask everybody watching, give me a yes for a pot pie or a no for a pot pie. I'll go ahead and monitor that as we continue to talk. But to me, and as I had told you, this screams, big views, but this is comfort food now in this part of the country. I mean, today it's snowed 10 inches already today. It's 30 degrees outside. I would want to jam a whole pot pie in my mouth because it would make me feel warmer. But what gives?
See, here's the problem. Today was 72 here in San Diego. And it was sunny. And it's hard to get your head around rib sticking, warm, comfort food that you just want to be inside by a fire when it's pouring rain or snowing outside. It's hard to do that when it's effing 72 degrees. This time of year, I want to do nothing when it comes to the weekend if I have some time. I want to sit inside. I want to hunker down. I want to get under a blanket. I want to watch a movie. I want to have a cocktail. I want to, whatever. And eat effing comfort food.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
not everybody agrees with that. So I don't want my opinions. I want the listeners, the viewers' honest opinions right now.
All right.
Would you...
Right now, here we go. We have Eliani Wood says yes. John Solberg says yes. Guy Chisholm says yes. Lady of Q, Sylvie Curry in your neck of the woods says yes. Dennis Busso from Colorado says yes. Hootie from Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh area. And we know, since he's from Pittsburgh, it's suspect, but he also says yes. It's just a resounding yes. Yes after yes. So we have to somehow figure this out and get a pot pie on the Sam cooking show on YouTube.
There are not many things I like more than a pot pie.
I know.
It has everything I want. It has a thickened gravy-like swimming pool inside it.
Yeah.
Yes. It's got the chicken. I put bacon in mine.
Yep.
And the vegetables that are in it have all been cooked in that bacon grease after the bacon was cooked.
Ooh.
It's got herbs. It's got thyme and rosemary,
peas.
Sage. I like all that stuff in there.
You don't like peas?
I don't hate peas. I don't know if I'm a fan of peas in it, but I might put them in just for you.
Small peas.
We could call them Greg's peas. There's going to be onions. You know that. Don't get pissed off. There'll probably be leeks in it. There'll be mushrooms in it.
Yep, mushrooms, yeah.
You okay with mushrooms?
Yes, love mushrooms.
Okay, good.
Big mushrooms.
So this thickened gravy, it's delicious. And then let's not forget what makes a pot pie is the crust on top.
Yes. Is that phyllo?
Honestly.
Or what? Like pie crust?
No, I like a pie crust. I'm going back and forth whether I would do a puff pastry crust or a pie crust. I'm a pretty old school traditionalist, and I love puff pastry, but I like standard pie dough on top of a pot pie. That's my thing.
Sam, do you want to answer?
I could eat the shit out of that.
No, there's no doubt. Like what I was telling you the other day, if we go to a new restaurant and it's known for something, but pot pie is also on the menu, I will go back again the next time to get whatever they're known for. I will get the pot pie the first time. I mean, that's always.
I'm with you. Anything in pastry crust, I would eat.
Yes, it's going to be delicious no matter what. Let's. Can we take two questions from fans? Sam, do you have time?
Yes.
Please.
Okay. I'm only here for you.
This question is coming from Dennis Busso in California. What brand is Sam's rotisserie fryer? That Turku looked great. Turku. I don't know what that means, but do you have a turkey fryer?
Oh, shit.
Rotisserie fryer?
Yeah. No, we used it.
Is he talking about the ceramic cooker one?
No.
Do you have something else?
He's talking about the turkey, the hot Nashville turkey that we did.
Yeah.
We rotisserie that.
Yes, that's right. That was a rotisserie cooker.
And then when it came out,
my God,
we painted it. I'm trying to think of what it is. I can see it. I can see it in my head. If you send me that question, I will know. I got to get back to the house and look at it.
Yeah.
I just, for the life of me, I cannot get it in my head right now.
All right, you'll give me that, and I'll pass it on to Dennis. He is the official Colorado embedded correspondent. Believe it or not, this question coming in from the great beyond, John Lennon has written into the show. Believe it or not, peace and love, peace and love. Sam, I tried your grilled vegetable recipe with the anchovy paste and the brushing sauce. Excellent, but I screwed up the carrots. Oh, no. How do you
what does that mean?
I don't even know what that means. Like,
I don't know what that means. I don't know. I mean, we need more information.
How did you make your carrots? But this is what I say to...
You're asking me?
Yeah, how did you do yours?
I don't even remember the recipe, to be honest with you.
Oh.
Look, I'm going to say this in complete open honesty for you, Greg, and that's all I ever have for you.
Indeed.
I'm 61 years old.
How dare you?
I smoked a lot of weed and did a lot of drugs when I was younger. We've talked about this. I'm not condoning. Look, I'm not condoning any of this.
No.
I'm just saying, in my advancing years, age, I can't remember. I've done thousands of recipes, but I would say this to the person: make it again.
Yes.
In my third cookbook I wrote, cooking is like riding a bike. The more you do it, the better you get. You can boil that down to individual recipes. You make a pineapple upside down cake. I've never made one, but let's imagine that that's what you're going to make. And it fails. The second time, you go to make it a second time. Now you have what's called experience and wisdom. Now you can go, okay, well, it was too damn sweet. So I'm going to reduce the amount of sugar because maybe the chef's recipe was wrong. It was burnt. Maybe either it was too long in the oven or my oven temperature is not regulated properly. I need to do this is when you learn, and this is when you start to dial in things that are better.
Can I also
Nobody can ride a bike
say
in the
that you should you might want to keep a cooking notebook of some sort? So instead of, however you mess it up the first time because you don't have that experience as you're talking about, now you have a reference piece to go back to.
You're not saying I should keep a reference cookbook, a notebook. You're saying the people.
Yes.
Well, look here. I'm looking up anchovy on my website, and I'm going to see if it comes up because I think this might jog my memory.
Anchovy paste in the brushing sauce. Grilled vegetable recipe.
No
Nothing?
clue. I got nothing. I don't know. Maybe I did something wrong.
Too vague.
But
Come on,
I will
John
say
Lennon.
this. I will say this, and I'm guessing that you don't like anchovies.
I love anchovies. I eat them right out of the can.
You do?
Anchovies? Hell,
you're such a baby when it comes to food. You can't handle an onion, but you'll eat an anchovy?
Well,
unbelievable.
There seems to be a difference between things that are delicious and things that suck. Draw your own
Why
conclusions.
don't you do a poll and see if people like, okay, yes, whatever, Mr. Remp.
Yeah.
That's fine. I told you, it's what Siri calls you on my phone.
Yeah.
Greg Remp.
Greg Remp. Got to add about 5 more E's to the end of that last E.
I'll be doing that so she doesn't question me when I say that. I'll just let me say this about anchovies and anchovy paste.
Yeah.
You should always have some. It goes in a million things. It adds that umami level of flavor deliciousness that you can't get from anything else.
And I think also that somehow they are immediately lumped into, oh, that's fishy. And I don't find that, nobody hates fish more than me. I really don't like most fish. I was losing my thought there for a second.
Are you a fan of fish sauce?
No.
Are you a fan of fish sauce?
No, I've tried it,
Okay,
but
fish
I
sauce
don't like it.
Listen, let's stop it now. Stop it now, baby. Fish sauce is made with anchovies. And I'm telling you, a little fish sauce tipped into like a soup or stew doesn't make it fishy, doesn't make it anchovy. It just makes it more, it hits that umami level of flavor, just amplifies. Like soy sauce does.
Steak sauce has anchovies in it. If you use that, like A1 steak sauce has anchovies.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. There you go.
Yeah. Now, so what I was saying, it's not fishy, and people say they like to eat anchovies, and most people give that person the stink eye like my kids give to me. But I'll roll the top off of a can of anchovies. I particularly like the ones that are rolled with a caper in the middle. And I will just sit there with a toothpick and boom, 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 one right after the other. I eat the whole goddamn can. They're delicious. And on pizza, and in the dressing that I can't think of. What's the dressing?
Caesar
dressing. That's right.
Caesar salad.
Mushed. My mom would make it and just mush the shit out of those bitches.
I don't want to sound like a food snob.
Go ahead.
But there's no way to say this next sentence and not have it come out douchey. The last time I was in France, I went to a relatively high-end grocer, and I bought 5 different cans of anchovies.
Wow.
Didn't touch them. Came back here to San Diego, and over a 2-month period, slowly opened them up.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, what came out of those cans made everything you get from this country look like complete shit.
Really?
So for you, my friend, I'm going to find you some amazing anchovies and have them sent to you.
I can't wait. My mom just texted me and
No,
wanted
you
you to
can't.
know.
They're amazing.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
My mom just texted me and wants me to tell you that as a youth growing up that they would actually put tins of anchovies in our Christmas stocking. Like, that's how much we used to eat anchovies as kids, all the way up to present day. We were big with the anchovies. Loved it.
Are you a sardine fan?
No, way different.
Oh, because it's fishy.
Yes, that's fishy.
Oh,
my father-in-law is real big into sardines.
I don't know what the number is, but a very popular video of ours on YouTube is the sardine sandwich. And it's fucking ridiculously delicious.
Oh, that wasn't one of the things where you dare somebody to eat it?
No.
Huh.
Sardines.
All right.
It's a sardine. It's a fish this big.
Yeah,
you pop them
know.
whole. Come on.
I know what it is.
It's like your anchovy. It's a cousin to the anchovy.
Of course.
If you like an anchovy, you got to like a sardine.
Mm-hmm.
Lemon, Japanese mayo, some arugula, good toasted wheat bread. Oh, my God. The lemon juice over the top. It's ridiculous.
Quickly, let's run over these real so you can see these. Wally Inskeep saying we did the stuffing omelet on Sunday. It was surprisingly delicious. If folks still have some leftover stuffing, like, you want to hit this up pretty quick before it goes bad, right?
Let me just say to Wally, what he said, surprisingly delicious.
Yes.
That to me is the key, because I don't think it sounds very good. I think a stuffing omelet sounds like, I don't know that could be good. And that's one of the things I like to do is when I make something, when it sounds horrible, but it tastes great, that makes me super happy. Thank you, Wally.
And we will end it with this from Eric's Barbecue and More. Hi, Sam. You're one of my favorite YouTubers. So there you go. A compliment as we close it out here.
Thank you, Eric.
Yes. Eric, if you're not subscribed to Sam's YouTube.
Mad love all the way from San Diego. I'm guessing he has.
Well, just in case, we want to direct everybody over to the YouTube.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
The Cooking Guy. Make sure you search that, subscribe, and smash the ding bell and ding the subscribe button and all that other bullshit. Do all of it so you're always kept up to speed. 3 times a week you can get Sam the Cooking Guy videos, and once per month.
I can't keep up with my own videos. There's too many of them.
Well, better too many than wondering how you're going to do the next one, because then it's pressure. We don't like that.
Let me just say this. Let me tell your audience, for the holidays, as we've done the past 3 years, we're giving away stuff. You need only be a subscriber to the channel. We're giving away an Evo grill. That's that round flat griddle I use. It's $3,600. We're giving away a Caliber Pro Kamado in stainless. It's a couple $1,000s.
Yep.
We're giving away a Traeger worth $2,000.
Whoa.
Wait, hold on. We're giving away some other stuff. Traeger,
cash prize of $10,000.
QP Mayonnaise is giving us $5,000 to give to one person.
What?
We're giving away $2,000. Yeah, $5,000 to one person, courtesy of QP Mayo. They reached out and they go, look, we're fans of you. You're clearly fans of us. We don't really have anything. I'm not going to give somebody $5,000 in mayo or mayo-related products. We just like to give you $5,000 for you to do something with it. And we determined the best thing to do was give somebody one check of $5,000.
Wow, that's incredible.
Bad Pickle tees. A lot of the T-shirts I wear, giving you a year's worth of T-shirts. Chosen Avocado Oil is giving us 4 times $500 worth of avocado oil products for people. It's crazy. It's crazy
Huge
shit.
money. So not only can you get a $3,600 Evo or a $2,000 Traeger or a couple $1,000 Caliber stainless ceramic type cook, not only can you get $5,000 in cash, Polly, you can also get avocado products. Oh my goodness.
And Doug Scheiding's Traeger.
And I said
not
Traeger.
His personal one. We're giving you away. We're giving you a new one.
Wow, unbelievable! It's crazy. Yeah. So get over there, subscribe, and hopefully win. I mean,
you just have to be a subscriber.
Just got to be a subscriber. You can't
completely
win it
random.
if you ain't
arbitrary.
Yeah, there you go.
Love that line. All right, buddy. Thanks, man.
Sam is here also, as I was doing the exit, and then we got sidetracked with all the thousands and thousands of dollars he's giving away. By the way, on this show, you get dick. You get to listen to me again next show. How about that? I'll give that away
They get
for free.
Quality entertainment once a week.
I extended my Cyber Monday subscribe to the show for free today and tomorrow, too, on Wednesday. So there you go. I'm giving it to you for free.
You're
You got to start
guy.
paying again on Thursday.
You're a funny guy.
But you can find Sam right here on the first Tuesday of every month as well. Sam, appreciate you coming in. Have a great holiday. We'll talk, I'm sure, many times
Thank you,
before
Greg.
the
You
close
too.
of the year, and we will see you again in January.
Talk to you tomorrow morning.
All right. There he is, Sam the cooking guy, right
See you,
there.
bud.
Love it. Great conversation as always. And if you're not subscribed, of course, get on over there and do that thing. Sam the cooking guy. Where it is. Here it is. So I'll talk to you quickly, because we went long, about Big Papa Smokers. That's right. Contending with a toothache, so we send thoughts and prayers to Sterling Ball. The one-stop online shop where all the barbecue stuff is. That's right. It's BigPapaSmokers.com. They have 13 perfectly balanced rubs and seasonings. Flavors to include sweet money and regular money and cattle prod and cash cow and double secret steak rub and Little Louis seasoned salt and desert gold. Just to name a few. Get them on your meat. Your friends will love it. Your neighbors will love it. Judges obviously love it on the competition circuit. You can't lose with it. Of course, they own Granny's barbecue sauce. If you're looking for something that's a go-to, something new, something that you want to get out in front of and say you're the trend center, try Granny's. It's great. By itself, you can use it as a base and trick it up from there. They're also selling cookers. We also know this. Are you looking for a versatile smoker that's easy to use? Can I interest you in a Mac 2-star General pellet cooker? Yes, General. Big Papa Smokers is the exclusive Mac dealer, even offering special packages if you're not a fan of pellet smokers. Take a look at the Old Hickory Ace BP, the only charcoal smoker that Big Papa trusts on his competition trailer. If you're a backyard barbecue enthusiast, then you have found the spots. If you have questions, call them 877-828-0727. That's 877-828-0727. Or you can shop their website, bigpapasmokers.com. That's BIGPOPPA smokers.com. We are back to wrap the show right after this. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Whole packers, full racks, legs and thighs, injecting butts. If you've never heard this before, you might think you found the best XXX show ever. Let's get back to the most homoerotic host out there today, Greg Rempe.
Hey, welcome back. Thanks again to Sam the Cooking Guy for joining me. TheCookingGuy.com is website. Find him on YouTube as well, releasing videos 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. He did a reboot of the brisket video that they released a little while back. That was originally cut in a Seinfeld-esque, like all the way at the end, and then 8 minutes before, and then 10 minutes before, and then 8 minutes before. They've re-released it as a start-to-finish brisket cook. Same cook, different editing, still great, doing really well. So we thank him for joining us. This portion of the show brought to you by The Smoke Sheet. Go to bbqnewsletter.com to sign up. It's free. Ryan and Sean keeping up on the happenings of the live fire industry as they happen during the week, and it comes out every Wednesday. bbqnewsletter.com, a great all-in-one live fire resource. Hey, here it is. Here's the watch of the week. This is just my watch. It's still not the Vortic watch yet. But as I become accustomed to how this camera operates, this is a bowl of a Precisionist watch. And what that means, the Precisionist is a line of watches that Bolova makes. This is in a titanium case. It's a kind of diver-styled watch, although the bezel does not rotate. You can see in the corner lugs there, they have ceramic paint. This was purchased through Steven DeFranco, Barbecue Jeweler to the Stars, probably 10 years ago at this point. And it is held up exceptionally well. Of course, you buy anything from Steve, and he does all the maintenance and the battery changes and all that stuff. So the paint was done on those corner lugs to match the second hand and all of the red that's also inside the dial there. So they can do some custom work for you there. But this is like super light. You can tell that the face is nowhere as big as the Nixon 5130 that I had on last week. And I'm assuming the Vortic watch will be a bigger face than this as well. I don't know what the across the lugs are, by the way, if you're not familiar. These things here and here are the lugs. So when they talk about lug measurement, that's what it means. And it fits, nice. It's got a nice shiny bracelet on it. It's got the nice Accutron clasp system. So that's what we have this week in the watch category. I'm back here a little bit. Trying to get this right. This is the Bowl of a Precisionist, and next week I'll probably trot out the what the hell do I have? The Bowl of a Accutron, and I got a new strap for that. So stay tuned for that. That's your watch segment. Sam, can you give away subscribers? I'm on the road to 1,000. No doubt. By the way, kick some over here. I just need a couple 100,000. That would be great. Eli and I would. Sardines very healthy for the heart and arteries. I'm still not going to eat them. They're gross. How about we get out of here? Great idea. All the way back in the first hour, George Moats showed up huge and showed up last minute. Literally. We talked about patty melts. We talked about the origin of them. Talked about burgers in general and how he's been doing these stop by appointment only hamburger slides once a week. A couple more left to go. Go to georgemoats.com. Also, the Smashula is going to be available. Now, I caution you before you take a look at the Smashula's price tag and then summarily shit your pants. It's hundreds of dollars. I've given you this information in advance so you don't think it's an internet joke. But people are buying them like hotcakes. Like Sam said, that's a weird saying, but people buy them up. If you think you want a Smashula, you need to pull that trigger, no matter how much it is, because soon enough they will be out, and then who knows if he's going to restock. Then we talked with the bad Jew herself, Rebecca King. TheBadJewLA.com is her website. If you're out in LA and you like pork strami or you want to try pork strami, check out her website, see where she's going to be at over the next handful of weeks and months. And then the second hour, Sam the Cooking Guy, Make America Cook Again, where you can get all the knives. Mine did not show up. I had people check upstairs and they did not show up. So I'll make sure that we show them out next week. But you got the bread knife, you got the paring knife, you got the chef's knife, and of course the Nakiri knife. A 4-knife set if you're so inclined. And thecookingguy.com, his main website, where you can also get his book and all that other stuff. Big show planned for you next week. Meathead is in. Amongst others, we have some first-time guests as well. I believe Kevin Coleman's sighting from Weber will happen as well. So very excited. September 11th, 2001. I will never forget. Thank you, everybody, for the emails and well wishes on the ear over the course of the last handful of days. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. And we will see you next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. Until then, your program host and proud U.S. American, Greg Rempe, saying good night now.